Good morning, people. It's Dragon with Dragon Speaks for You. I've got a pretty heavy subject today. Uh, Dragon Speaks for You. Put a Gmail on that. That's with a number 4 and a letter U. Dragon Speaks for You. Gmail.com. That's my email. Also, you can see my videos on YouTube uh, at Dragon Speaks for You. Okay, I've got a subject today. It's pretty heavy. It kind of goes different areas, but basically the same. And I need to get this out. Excuse me, I just got out of the shower, so things aren't quite adjusted here. But uh, I want to first of all, I want to shout out to a lady. I want to put this out. I think everybody needs to hear this. Uh, I don't have her name. I'm not going to give you her name or anything, but there's a lady that was in poor health, and this was. If I heard this, it came to me, and I was elated to hear it. Uh, there was a lady in poor health, and I guess she was watching my videos or things that I was saying, and was listening and put them to work, and apparently, she started feeling better, and her health was started getting better, and because she put into action the things I was saying, and I give the glory to the Lord. I give the glory to the Spirit. I give the glory to the higher power, and because I don't take that glory. I'm just used to put it out. And I'm dedicated to it, and nothing's going to stop me. Especially when I get those kind of results like that coming at me, I know that people are doing it. And like I said on another video, if it's one person I reach and it helps, that makes my day, and I know that makes the higher powers day. And if it's just one person, it doesn't matter, because it's a ripple effect, and it's a domino effect. It'll go on, because the more people that see it, she's going to go out and speak it, because she had, apparently she was stuff that she couldn't deal with, and people, there was nobody to help, and but our Lord Jesus, you get into Jesus, whether you believe it or not, the Spirit is where it's at. That is the physician of all physicians, you know, uh, and it's just going to it's real. I mean, that right there is living proof. You know what I mean? And I'm not making this story up. I don't have to do that. But so anyway, a shout out to her, and I'm very happy for you, ma'am. That I'm very glad for you, and thank you for acknowledging me. But I want you to acknowledge the Spirit, because that's where the thanks goes. That's where the true glory goes. Okay. And it's just going to get better, and you're going to be better, and I'm happy for you. And you're gonna, it's you just stay strong, get stronger and stronger. See more of these if you like, and just get in deeper and deeper in the Spirit, and you're going to get healthier and healthier, and you're going to be complete and whole. I'm talking your mind, your spirit, your body, all of it. Okay. So thank you very much, and I'm very glad for you. And so to get on with the subject here, I want to name this "What If." What if? Okay, the biggest word in the English language is "if." 2 letters. If, that's the biggest word in the English language. So I want to name this "What If," and title it "What If." What if the things that I'm saying to you of the Spirit? What if the things that the Word of God says in the Bible? What if those things come about? And what if you actually put some time into it, some belief into it? What if it's true? What if it's true? What do you have to lose other than the torment some of you going through, or the negative that all of you deal with, every one of you? I don't even want to hear that. I know I never have no negative. Oh yeah, you do. There's negative somewhere coming at you at some time in your life. You ain't walking this life with no negative. You're walking in negative. You understand? You're walking in the world of negative. Okay? You've got to create what you have. You have to create it. You have to create, like I said before, you have to create joy, man. You know? And once you get it, then you can walk and feel joy. Then, you know, you don't have to create so much. But I guarantee you, you have to create a better job. You have to create a better house. You have to create a better world to live in. You know, understand? I understand. I know that. I've lost my world because of my dumb moves, because of the negative that has come to me. And oh yeah, I accept that I made the mistakes. I did this. Okay. But it's there. The point is it's there. And I lost everything, you know, everything. You know what I mean? Twice, 3 times, twice in my life. And every time I won't lay down, I get up and I stick with it. I don't curse the Lord. I don't curse the Lord. I know who's behind it. I know it's the devil. I know it's the dark side. I know it's the negative. I know it's the blackness of life. Okay? However you want to put it. I don't care. People don't believe, you know, everybody wants to curse God. Nobody curses the devil. It's just amazing to me. Everybody could blame, oh God, why did you let those people die? Why did you let, you know, how come you took my dad? How come you took my mom? How come you took my brother? How come you took my sister? How come you took my child? How come you took my friend? You know what I mean? How come you took my car away? How come you took my house away? You know, everybody cries about, and they cry to the Lord. Like he, you know what I mean? But yet they don't want to believe in it. A lot of them don't even believe in the Lord, but when it comes to something like that, they're crying to it. And I've seen people, you know, I know you have too, you know, they don't believe in God, but, you know, something comes down and boy, I tell you, it gets rough enough. They're over there praying. They're praying. What are you praying to? Who are you praying to if you don't believe in God? Who are you praying to? You know? Who are you praying to? You know, you don't believe in God. And I don't care what you call it, you know what I mean? You want to call it God, the higher power, whatever. It's the total all, you know, of all creation. So who are you praying to if you don't believe in it? You know what I mean? The universe, who do you think created the universe? Where did it come from? You know what I mean? You know, this, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of hilarious to me, you know, but I've got into so many arguments. There's no sense in arguing. It's, you know, you just got to put out the facts and let them believe what they're going to believe, you know. Sooner or later, they're going to see. But what if it's all true, people? What if it's true, you know? And what do you have to lose except all this negative in your life? So, you know, when you look at it like that, it's just, you know, quit listening to people. You know, you'll take advice from your friend, you'll take advice from your neighbor, you'll take advice from this guy over here or that lady over there, or, you know, because these people go to church. You take advice. You know how much demonic practices are in church? How many demonic people are in church? You know, that's where the devil dwells. What do you think? You think he's out there roaming around, you know? He wants the people that are working against him. You know what I mean? And we're better than a place where they gather called church. Trust me, I've seen them. I did it for over 20 years, and I called it out. I could feel them, and I called it out. And when I called it out, they get mad. That spirit gets mad, and they've gotten up and stormed out, cussing me, you know, because I called them out. Devil, stand up, you know. I've called them out, and that demonic, when you notice that they're there and you see it, you see it, they just storm out. You know what I mean? It's just they start cussing you, and it's crazy. It's so obvious, you know. But you can feel it. You get to a certain level, you can feel that demonic. You understand? That's why they work on people before you wake up. Does that make sense? They want you before you wake up. That dark side wants you before you wake up. They don't want people like me. They hate people like me. They can't stand people like me. Why? If all I'm doing is helping people, you know, look at it logically, people. If all I'm doing is trying to help people in their lives have a better life and look at things in the way where they could have a better life all the way to the time they die. And what if everything is true? And what if there is a heaven? What if there is a place where your soul's going to go to eternity, to where is beyond comparison, beyond your imagination? What if, whatever it may be, you understand? I don't care what the stories tell you. It's just whatever it may be. You're more than just a piece of flesh that's going to rot in the ground. You know, what's the sense? It doesn't make sense. If you look at it logically, people, quit trying not to believe and just look at it logically. Okay? Why? I'm so complicated, man. The complications of your tongue, the complications of the way you speak, your ability to speak, your ability to see, your ability to hear. And you ever get into the study, do some studying, man. You know what I mean? Do studying the way your body moves and what you got inside, instead of just looking in the mirror and see how pretty you are. And I'm coming at it pretty hard, people, but you don't want to hear it, then, tune out or something. But I'm not going to change it, because I'm passionate about it, and I'm trying to get you to wake up to something. You understand? I like the way I look too, but I know what I am beyond this. You understand? What I am beyond this is awesome, man. This is nothing in comparison. And I had to wake up to that so that I can utilize it. Do you understand? It's in the spirit and what I am within myself. And I have to acknowledge myself. I have to acknowledge what a creation I am. If that makes me arrogant because I understand what a masterpiece I am put together, well, that's too bad. I don't care about people's opinion. That's an awesome logical statement, man, how awesome I am. You think I'm just a scientific fact? Take that opinion and run with it someplace. I got better words to, where to shove it. But, they didn't create me. Some scientists, I didn't come out of a test tube. Some scientists down the road didn't create me. You know what I mean? The glory of God, the glory of the all, the glory of the spirit, the glory of whatever you want to call it, put this plan together. You know what I mean? I don't care if you say the Anunnaki, the aliens come down and changed it from a monkey to a man. Who made them? Who created them? You understand? There's always something bigger. Do you understand me? You don't have to understand it. You don't have to see the answer. You're never going to have it. Why don't you just believe? That's what faith is about. You understand? That's what faith is about. Look. You ever, especially the ladies will know this before a man does. The ladies will look in the mirror. They always look in the mirror, which is, it's fine. You're the beauty and the grace of this earth. So you look in the mirror. You're always fixing yourself. If you have a mirror behind you, what do you see? What do you see? Besides looking at yourself, don't look at yourself. Look around you, because you'll see the back of you, right? But don't look at yourself. Look at everything around you. What do you see? You tell me what you see. Okay? I want to give you a little bit of logic here and faith. Okay? You're not going to be able to deny this. Okay? If you look at it, you're looking at a mirror, looking at a mirror, looking at a mirror. It's your image. Yeah, you're in the center of it. How many of you do you see? How many? And if you stop and look, you're seeing an infinite number. It goes until you can't see no more, right? How do you know you're still there when your eye can't see no more? How do you know your reflection, you stop reflecting after you can't see it, you just stop reflecting, but you look at the one you're looking at in front of you, your image is still there. Think about it. But if you look around you, your vision goes all the way, all this double, 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 all the way until you can't see no more. It's called the vanishing point. Okay, so at that vanishing point, how do you know? Do you think that that's where your reflection ends, or does it keep going? If you could run back to that point without moving, if there's a way you could run back to that point, that vanishing point, would you be there? Think about that. Of course you would. But standing over here, you know, if you're logical, you know it keeps on going. Just because you can't see it, you know it's there. That's faith. That's faith. You understand? Go there. When you doubt faith, go to that scenario I just gave you. Go to that. And it'll help you. It'll help you actually have faith. Oh yeah, okay, well, yeah, I can get that. I can get that. Like we used to say back in the city, I can dig that. I can dig that, man. You know, yeah, because it's logical. So if you have to come down to the flesh to explain it to someone to see and to feel it, man, that's why I say I always use that term. You know, to see what I'm saying, you have to feel it. And I just showed you an example. There's other examples I can show you that you can't deny it. You can't deny it. Unless you say, no, I disappear. After I can't see it, I disappear. Well, to your eye, you do. But if you could run back there, would you be there? Would your reflection be there? If you could stay here or have somebody go back there and see if I'm there, I'm telling you, they would keep on running because it would be ongoing. It's infinite. You understand? Okay. Anyway, an important point of the Bible is you need to, if you really want to understand it, because they changed it. I'm telling you, they changed it. I agree with a lot of you. Oh, I don't want to hear it, man. Man wrote it. And so many men rewrote it, blah, 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 this and that. You're right. You're right. You know, but back in the year of 300 BC, time of Constantine, these bishops got together. The Bible was written and nobody else had one. You understand? They didn't want people to have it. It had truth in it. They didn't want people to have it. All these writings of Jesus Christ and all of this, they didn't want them to have it. Okay? So they took it and they eliminated a lot out of it. So did it according to their agenda, so it wouldn't fit. They were scared. It scared them to death because it changed so many people. Just his words out there while he was alive, was changing people. So anyway, AD. Okay, so people started writing this after the death of Christ. Okay, so that was my bad. So. They started eliminating the word. How could I use it? Like today, they redact. Okay, these secret documents and stuff like that. They do a lot of redacting. Okay, and then they give them to you. Okay, we're gonna set the classified. You want transparency? We're gonna give you transparency. You understand a lot because a lot of you that try to get this stuff out of government and everything else, UFO, whatever documents or secret op documents or whatever that we should have with true transparency. We as the people, the citizens, we should have the information so we know what the hell's going on, right? They don't want that. Well, it's the same today. You know what I mean? It was the same back then. So they basically redacted. So they didn't black things out. They just took them out. Okay, and they put whatever they wanted in there. You understand? Whatever we say, okay, we can get away with that. We can get away with that. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, those books, I mean, they're some of the most important in there. And they walked with the Lord. They had the most information, but yet all their stories, you read every one of them, they're basically the same. So, okay, put those all together. It's basically the same story. You know what I mean? I understand this stuff. I do. I look at things analytically, man. Uh, sometimes it's a curse, sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a test, sometimes it's all three. You know what I mean? And a lot of you may have the same problem with you. My mind doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. But anyway, it took it finally, they didn't want the Constantine. They were against the Christians, the ones that wanted to believe. They were believing, they were in secret having meetings, and they were being persecuted. But he put together these churches, these bishops. He picked them. These were all of a sudden they're instant bishops, and they had these cathedrals and these glorious, everything made of gold and stuff like that. This is where the Lord is. Well, they must have chopped them up into pieces because they were all over the place. But and then they were selling indulgences. You know what I mean, to the poor people. These people didn't have money, barely had money to eat, but they were selling indulgences, man. If you don't know what that is, they'd write a piece of paper and say, okay, you give so much or whatever, different stuff, you give so much, and here you give this much, and you can enter the kingdom of heaven. You give this much, or you give this much, and you can save your family member that died from purgatory because they're suffering in purgatory. Okay, so you give this much here. Here's your indulgence. There's your proof. There's your receipt. You know what I'm saying? So you can show this, I guess, to the devil that's holding your whatever. I don't know. Or St. Peter, however they put it. When you get to the gate, show them that. That's your ticket in. You know what I mean? Stupid. But people were ignorant. They didn't know. Okay? Nobody had a Bible. They wouldn't let them have it. They held it. They held the word. Whatever word they had, they held it. Okay? For control. Kind of like government today. You understand? Certain factions. More so than others. Control. And people. People today. I'm getting to all this. I'm getting to the point of all this, people. People today in high places. There's people in law enforcement. There's people in government. There's people in, factions of their own. The Masons, everybody, man. You're talking. I don't care what religious outfit. Everybody. There's demonic in them. There's demonic. I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying there's demonic within them. Within these outfits. You understand? Some are completely ran by them. Yeah. Okay. But you got to be aware of this. You got to have the discernment. In order to do that, you have to raise your levels. You'll never see it down here in this fundamental plane, in this superficial and fundamental plane. And you're walking in just content because, oh, my life is great. But you're being ran. Everything in your life is being controlled. You understand? I don't like it. I don't like myself. I don't like control myself. You understand me? It made me a black sheep. Okay, well, whatever. I don't care if I'm purple. I'm not walking with the rest of them. Just because, what if you lead them over a cliff? You think I want to walk over that cliff? I don't feel that. I don't have that spirit. I never have. I wasn't born that way. And you know what? That's a very important point. Many of you and many of us in what I say in the collective, weren't born that way. We're all black sheep. I guarantee you. We get together and talk. We're all going to go, oh, yeah, I recognize you. How come I didn't see you in the crowd and all that, Because they separate us. You understand? I've been separated all my life from people. I've never fit in really and I didn't care. It didn't matter, I made my own way anyway. And especially as I got older. You're not going to control me. And it cost me, it cost me, but it still didn't break me. It didn't make me conform into the mold that they, here, you gotta put them in this mold, No, my mold was made by the Almighty. You understand? And then he broke that mold. There ain't no more of me. And that's it. That's another reason I am a masterpiece. He said I am. He said, I'm a walking God. That's what he says in his word. I made you all gods. But do we recognize ourselves as that? Or do we get our head blown up like we're Jesus Christ himself? Do you understand? No. We have the capability of aspiring to that level. Do you understand? But we have it within us. We are it. But if we don't recognize it and we don't work for it and we don't feed that, we'll never be that. Do you understand? Many people are locked into that. They're locked into just that content, that superficial and fundamental, because maybe it's too much work, maybe they're too freaking lazy, whatever it may be, or they're scared, or they're locked in by some people. That's the worst right there. I'm telling you. When you try to step out, and the worst are the closest to you, your kids, your sons, your daughters, when they're old enough, your parents or whatever, man, your uncles, they are the worst at it. If they're not part of it and they don't see that, they're going to be against you. And the Lord himself said, the interesting thing, he came and he says, I didn't come to put you guys together. I'm paraphrasing. I didn't come to bring peace and joy and all that. He didn't come for that. He said, I came to cause division. I came to cause division, and that's what he meant. People take it out of context. Man, he came, he's this guy, he came to attack us and split us up. No, the split is within man itself, okay? Because if you don't agree with that, and you do, and they don't, it's going to split you. Father against son, daughter against mother, uncle against whatever. You're going to lose family members, first of all. Then you're going to lose friends. You understand? If they're not along those lines, they're going to leave you. And people don't want that. Too many people can't stand the thought of that. I'm going to walk without friends. I'm splitting up. I love this part of my family. Well, that's fine. But you know what? They didn't come in this world with you. And they're not going out with you. You understand me? They didn't create you. Maybe your mom and dad had a nice little time and procreated, and that was the part of your creation when you were created, but they didn't do it. They didn't make the elements within your body, the elements within a woman. They didn't create any of that to create a child. You understand? They just used their parts like it was deemed from the Almighty. This is what you're going to do. That's what that part is for, and this is what that part is for. You put them together, this is what's going to happen. But they didn't create it. So they didn't give you life. The Almighty gave you life. This is what you need to know. So even from that point, you were singular. You were singular. When you came in to conception, you were singular. When you go out, you're singular. I don't care if you had a twin. That twin, it happens sometimes, when you die, they die with you. No. You die alone, you leave a twin behind. You understand? So even that, they came into the world with you. At the time of conception, I don't know. That's those are answers we don't have. But you got to understand what I'm saying, And the Almighty's got the say-so over all of it. He's the creator. He created everything that makes that happen. You understand me? So who do you owe your allegiance to truly? Who do you owe your life to truly? Okay? From the beginning. Now when you grow up and something happens, somebody saves your life and this and that. Oh yeah, well, I owe you my life, man. No. Why is it so easy to owe somebody your life when they save you from a bullet or a flying train or whatever it is? Why is it so easy to owe them your life, but not to the almighty creator that gave you life in the first place. That's who you owe your life to. And if you can get that and give it, totally give it. Shut up, don't tell me this. Shut up, don't tell me that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, I love you, but I don't want to hear it. Yes, I love you, but I don't want to hear it. This is what I'm doing. If you love me, you'll still stay with me, whether you agree with me or not. That's how you got to think, whether you agree with me or not. You understand? But they won't, because that light is conflicting. It's conflicting. And myself, I'd rather just be alone, because it's going to cost you. They're going to pick from you and pick from you and pick from you and pick from you. They're going to take and take and take, because you're living off your energy. Well, it's up to you. You want to give that much, that's fine. Okay? But don't go to the point where they just drain you. You understand? Of life. That's what's happening. They're draining you of life, spiritual energy, man. So anyway, you got to read between the lines so that you know what the Lord was saying. And it'll make more sense when you read the Bible instead of just a story. Other than that, it's just a story. Some are pretty radical, some are not, and some sound real good. Wow, this is cool, But you're not really getting it, man. You're not getting what he's saying. And there's so much in there. I'm telling you, so much that is so awesome if you get that discernment and that intuition to where you can see between the lines and get, oh, wow. And it changes every time you read it. That is what's amazing. The greatest book on earth is for top seller for 2,000 years. There's got to be something happening. Spiritual. Not just because it's a good story. Think about it. Excuse me just a minute here. So anyway, I will tell you something real quick. I've been attacked. I've been being attacked actually my whole life. But mainly now that I started all this, I'm getting a lot of attack, okay? Spiritual attacks, which is fine. I'm at a level that they can't touch me. There's protection around me that's so awesome, and it comes from spirits, and it comes from a spiritual protection, and I believe that to the fullest, because I know what's coming, man. I can see it, okay? I can feel it. And there's a lot of people, I've seen it. I've walked in that other end, that other realm that does it. I've walked in all that. I've seen how it works on people. Okay? I wasn't so wised up and woke up to what I was doing, except I wanted to see. I was learning stuff, learning an enemy, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I was enjoying myself and whatever I was doing, so I can't, leave the facts out about that, you know what I mean? So, I wasn't all proper in all of that. So I just got to tell you, because I want to be transparent with you, man. I mean, I want to tell you the truth. So anyway, it lives off of it. These things like these spirits that they send to you, these voodoos and these things, it lives off your anger, off your reaction, off your negative reaction. This thing I learned quite a while ago, long time ago, but it took me a long time to really start to where I could really have a handle on all my negative emotions, man. But something always helped me. And I say something because at the time it's like something, helping me. Well, it's the spirit I'm talking about. Okay. The acknowledgement of that was not so clear. Okay. Just like with a lot of you. All right. Which is fine. That don't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you, well, I can't do it. Yes, you can. It's yours. It's yours. Nobody can take it from you. Nobody can take it from you, people. Nobody. And you got to know This I have and nobody can take. Nobody. You know, you can't chop me up to pieces even and take it from me. It's mine and it can't be touched. Do you understand that? So I got to tell you this, and there's some people that, you know, I don't know. I question saying it, but I got to tell you, my life has been threatened. Okay. My life has been threatened, you know, and throughout my life, it's been threatened many times, but this is different. My life has been threatened quite a few times in different ways. And I get this, you know, and there was an attack here a few days ago. Okay. And my son was with me, and it came close. I mean, it really came close. Uh, I wouldn't be here today. Okay. Uh, by all natural, by all natural, uh, all natural, whatever. I wouldn't be here today. Okay. But it came real close, and that's a serious thing with me. You know, some people want me that. Some people want me dead. You know what I mean? I just got to say it straight up. But it was a scary thing, and I knew it was, but I also knew about our protection. But it came close. It came very, very close. Okay. Uh, it didn't really scare me or my son, but because he's strong, you know, and he knows Dad. I didn't freak out, nothing. It's just, it was fine. But you know, they caught the guy, and you know, and I caught him first. You know what I mean? My son and I caught him first. So um, the person, and I mean, at one time I would have probably ended him right there. You know, uh, or hospitalized him. And I just got to tell you that. I mean, that's how I used to react, and especially something like that, an actual threat against my life. But no, I just looked at him in his face, and he was, you know, you could see the shock in his. And when I looked into his eyes, when I looked into the eyes of that person, I seen the fear of the demonic. Do you understand? I seen the fear of the demonic, and at the same time, I'm looking at a very scared person. And I just asked, "What are you doing?" You know, I just very calmly, you know, "What are you doing? What happened with you? What's going on?" You know, because I seen, and that is when the demonic was gone. I seen it in his eyes. And like I've told you before in another video, once you're set up, once you are used like the puppet that they make you be, and you're caught, if you happen to be caught, that baby's gone. That baby's gone. It's not left to pay. You are the trick bag. You just got caught up in the trick bag. And that poor person is left now to deal with the consequences of it. And it's going to cost. It's going to cost big time. I mean, here, you know, state troopers and everybody, sheriffs and everybody showed up. I mean, it was big time, man, you know. And you know, there's certain people that love me. I really didn't want to put this out, so I didn't want you knowing this, but because you know, I know certain people that love me is going to be scared for me, but it's okay, you know. It's all right. I'm all right, and it just it came close. It came real close. Actually, I'd have to say the closest it's ever come. Okay, so probably if you can see it that close. And so anyway, the protection, it was so awesome because I was calm. I mean, both of us we were calm. We just said, hey, whatever, we're okay. I'm good. And my son, he's I gotta I gotta I gotta chill him, man, because I gotta chill him out because he goes off. He loves his dad. You know what I mean? He loves his dad, and he'll go into action, man. He'll go into action big time. He starts pulling out. He start pulling out whatever you gotta pull out. He'll go off, and I have to pull that chain on him. But anyway, I was protected, and the Spirit held me. Spirit held me strong, and I thanked my Almighty, both of us, and we thanked our Almighty because it was total protection. I mean, there's no way. If anybody's ever seen Pulp Fiction, you ever seen Pulp Fiction? And Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta are hitmen, and they go in and they're talking to these three guys. Yeah, I know a lot of you have seen it. Okay, and this guy jumps in out of the back room and with a gun and just starts firing. Boom, 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 boom. Empties that gun out, and they're just standing there. Well, as soon as he got done, then they pulled their guns out and they shot him, right? But they looked around and they looked at each other, and then they turned around and looked at the wall. All the bullets went around them. And Samuel L. Jackson changed his life right there, right? And that's how it was. That's how it was. I thought about that very moment, and he says, man, that was, Travolta couldn't understand it. He goes, no, it was just a thing that happens. He goes, no. Samuel L. Jackson tells him, no, that was divine intervention, period. That's all he was doing. He knew, okay? There was divine intervention. There's no way that's going to happen. That guy emptied that gun, man, from, 7 feet away. There's no way, And not either one of them got hit. They were standing. They just stood there. And neither one got hit. So that's kind of how this was. And I just got to say, people, keep your eyes open. They hate the truth. They hate the truth. And more than that, they hate the light in you. The light is the truth, but they see it in you. It glows. And the bigger you get, the more hate. But they can't touch you. And you have to stand strong with that. Don't fear, because they feed off the fear. If you walk in fear, they feed off of that. It's energy. They suck your energy. You open the door for them to suck the energy from you. And a lot, like I say, they're some of the closest people to you. They're not there to help you. You know what I mean? You don't know. You have to build yourself in this discernment so you can see. You can see, and you have to advise them. A lot of them are being manipulated. People, it's not the person; it's the spirit within them. Okay, it's the spirit within them. It's not the person. All right, I gotta stress that point, and you have to have that discernment so that you can see it. You understand, and know how to fight it. Okay. And you listen to these videos, things like that, you'll get pointers on how to fight this stuff and how to resist it so that it can't touch you, because they don't want you to elevate. You understand? That darkness does not want you to elevate it, because it's healing. Just like that lady, she listened and she did it, and I'll bet she did it by herself without people in her ear telling her this and telling her that and listening to all this, because it won't happen that way. It won't happen. You won't be able to elevate. You won't, because at the same time they're talking, they're sucking energy from you, and you can't have it. You got to bring it all together, center yourself, and so that you can meditate in it and start believing. Rub your belief. You understand? Rub your belief, massage your belief. I'll put it that way. You know, it's massage your belief so it comes to life and grows bigger and bigger. And, you know, so that your belief can go. Yeah, I feel it. I feel it because it will. It'll show you. You'll feel it. I'm telling you, people, you'll feel it. You go. You know what? I don't know. I can't explain it. Don't bother explaining it. Don't bother trying to explain it. Just feel it and take it and go, man, I know it. I know it. I know it. You know, and the more you do that, the stronger you get, and it starts showing in your body. It starts showing in your skin. You know, you stop your aging, basically, man. Your aging can reverse. You know, you get strong. You get strong, and you know what I mean. I mean, you start healing. Things start healing. You know, I had arthritis in my ankle, man. It'd kill me. I had a pouch like that, you know, and I broke it way back when I was a teenager in a fight. But you know, I developed at my age. I developed arthritis in it, and there was a pouch of arthritis in there. I mean, actual pouch. And I tell you, I can only be on it, my ankle. They wanted to operate and weld it, cut it all out, and weld my ankle to where I couldn't bend my foot, you know. And I told the doctor, no, that ain't gonna happen, man. You know. Well, you know, one doctor told me, well, you must be, you know, pretty freaking strong. He says you must be pretty strong, you know, because you shouldn't even be walking. It's bone on bone. I said, well, that's what it's going to be, because I'm not going to fuse my ankle and my leg together. You know, it's not going to happen. So I'll just put up with the pain. Well, anyway, I could only be on it for like an hour. You know, after that, it's like a hot ice pick right in the bone, right in my ankle, man. Boy, I mean, that sucker hurt. It hurt, man. And I couldn't walk, you know. So I thought I'd have to be on a cane and stuff. My wife even found me a cane, and I never have used it. So I started laying hands on my ankle. Started laying hands. The Lord says, you have the power. I've given you the power to lay hands on yourself, and you are a healer. You can heal yourself. And it's in your mind, in your faith, in your heart, your soul, your core, your hands. Put it out. And I said, in Jesus' name, remove it. Remove it in Jesus' name. It took probably about 6 weeks, I'd say. It's not like it rapid, but it took about 6 weeks before I realized, I didn't even know. Before I realized I didn't have it. And I was on it longer and longer every day. I said, what? It's gone. You know, it's not burning. Well, it had moved. Okay? Check this out. It had moved into a pouch, a ball. This is crazy, man, because you can't remove it. It's between the joints and stuff like this, right? It don't happen. It moved to the other side of my ankle, off my ankle bone, right at the end of my ankle bone, okay? Right? It sticks out, your ankle bone sticks out on the outside of your ankle. It moved to the outside of my bone, and it created a pouch outside. And it was bothering me when I wear my tennis shoes and stuff, because it hung over my, you know. And I thought, what the heck is that? Well, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, it was draining into that pouch. And I'm telling you, the Lord did this. I'm serious. The Spirit had to do this, and I didn't understand. I thought, well, maybe I'm just getting it all over the place. You know, I didn't know. So I went to a doctor. He says, oh, no, you gotta do this. I said, I'm not going through all of that. I'm not doing that operation, man. It ain't happening, you know? That's all there is to it. I got pissed off, actually, because all he wanted was the money, you know? I don't believe I need that. And I was being fed that by the Spirit. So I went to another doctor in a town, another state. I walked in. He said, lay down there. It didn't give me nothing. Put some kind of alcohol or whatever it is on it. Went and got a big old syringe like this. Says, lay back. Says, you need any anesthetic or anything? I said, no, I don't need none of that. What are you going to do? He said, I want to pierce that thing. I want to drink. See what, you know. He stuck it in there. It took about 30 minutes. He stuck it in there, pulled this out, and it was like a thick jelly, man, thick. Okay, it was almost like a glue. And he pulled it out because it was hard. It would just suck it out of there. You know, it wasn't just a little liquid. And then they sucked that out of there twice, out of this pouch, and it drained that pouch. Been good ever since. So it was moved to a place of access. In my mind, that's, you know, in retrospect, I look at it, is moved to a place of access where it could be removed. You know, I figured they were going to cut it and operate and dig all this. That's what the other doctor told me. I said, nah, I'm not going through all this operation thing, you know, and then scrape my ankle inside and big old operation, you know. This guy took 30 minutes with a needle, man. Sucked that out of there, and there it is. You know what I mean? And the Spirit told me that. Don't accept it. Go here. And so you got to listen to your spirit. You understand? You got to listen. All the answers are within your spirit. They're not here. You understand? They're not here. It's the Spirit. You're going to feel it. That'll feed this. Don't let this try to feed this. Okay? Like I always said, this is 100%. This is 50-50. You can talk yourself into or out of anything, but this is 100%. You understand? Your spirit is 100%. Okay. Man, I've been going on this. I knew this was going to be long. I'm just going to have to chop this one up. But you guys need to hear this. There's groups of people out there, okay, that you need to watch. They're even brainwashing kids, man. It pisses me off. They're brainwashing kids. They're using kids, and a lot of them are getting busted. They're getting busted. You're going to see it in the news. Mark my words. You're going to see it on the news. These big organizations, I'm telling you, mark my words. And there's some happening right now. And they're getting busted. And these people that are supposed to be these upper echelon, a lot of people involved, man. You know, down to the regular civilian, and they're puppets. They're being used. Some may be in your family, you know. They're being used. They're being paid. They're being paid for certain actions. Do you understand? To watch or different things, you know. I mean, they're being paid for this. I know it sounds like a conspiracy, but it's not, people. I'm telling you, I'm a victim of it, man. You know what I mean? How do you doubt that? You know, but you know, you can call me crazy if you want. I've been called worse. You know, but you're going to see it when you see it in the news. You're going to go, "Oh my God, Dragon he was talking about this." Yeah, well, yeah, but it might be too late, people. You got to be aware. You got to be aware. Keep your eyes open, man. Keep your eyes open. You know, they work on that. Learn to control your emotions. You know, your right side of your brain. You know, it works on. That's where you create. You know, you create, and your intuition. You know what I mean? Your intuition and your awareness. You hear what I'm saying? The right side of your brain, and the left side works on your thought. You know, and your logic, right? Your thought and your logic and they work together. Do you understand me? They work together, but you can separate it. You understand what I'm saying? And most of the time you're working on the side that works mathematics and all that other stuff, your analytical side. You see what I mean? But you got to look at your awareness, man. Feed your awareness. You understand? And but you'll be able to see, and you know, the Lord said, you know, and I apply it to you know, there's a story where there was a group of the apostles were out fishing, you know, and the Lord walked up on the shore. He was still alive, and you know, he wasn't in spirit. He walked onto the shore, and they were over there, and they'd been fishing all day long, throwing the nets, you know, all day long. They weren't catching anything, and they were frustrated. And the Lord said, you know, hollered out at him, and he said, toss your nets to the other side of the boat. Okay? And there wasn't no big old fishing boat. It was one of these little rowboat that, you know, it's just a little boat back then. He said, toss your nets to the other side. And they said, what good is that going to do? You know, it's right here still, you know. What good is that going to do? We've been out here all day. We haven't caught anything, you know. It's just not going to happen. And he said, do it. Cash it. Cast your nets to the other side. So they did it. And the first draw, they pulled more than they could hold in the boat. Okay? It filled the net. And they couldn't believe it. You understand? Now, apply what I said, read between the lines. Okay? Why is that so important? Why is that story important? You know? About catching fish. You know what I mean? Well, how am I going to apply that to my life? Doesn't make sense to me. If you read between the lines, you use your discernment, you use your intuition. You know what it says to me? You know what it says to me? If you're having trouble, I just mentioned it. You got two sides of your mind, your brain. And if you're having trouble trying to figure this out over here, it's because you're on the wrong side of the brain. You're using the wrong side. Why don't you try casting your net to the other side? Hello? Try casting your net to the other side. You know? Where's my intuition? Where's my awareness? Instead of all my mathematical, you know, and all that, you know what I mean? Where's my awareness and my intuition, my spiritual? Where can I apply my spiritual to it? Cast it to the other side. Does that make sense? It makes perfect sense to me. Why else would he want to put that story in his word? Why else? What else? So every time we go fishing, if we don't catch nothing, try it over here. Come on, man. You understand? That's how I read the Bible. I'm telling you. And there's so much, people, I can't even, I can go on and on and on. I want to end this though, you know. But these people, they're trying to keep you. There's people going to jail right now. I'm telling you. And there's people fixing to go to jail, and they're not even aware, you know. There's a particular person, I want to say, if they see this video, I want to say to you, please get out of your ego. Please. You know, I love you. Get out of your ego. Get out of it. I wouldn't be lying to you. You know, get out of your ego. Get out of your stubbornness. Get out of yourself. Quit listening to people. You know, they got you stuck. You are stuck because you're a very strong person. You can automatically, with a snap of a finger, step out of it, regardless of what you say is holding you. And you have a safe place to take it. And you know where that place is at. I just got to say that, okay? You know where that place is at. But you got to get away from your shame, your guilt, your ego, your stubbornness. Drop it all, and you'll see. Just drop it all for that one little move you need to make. And make that move. Just say, to hell with it, where it belongs. Long enough for you to make that move, and then you'll see. And you're going to see, oh my God, how come I've been sitting, stressing, and worrying all this time. I could have done this, okay? But I understand, all right? I understand. More so than you think, okay? So make that move, all right? That's for one person in particular, okay? And it might help others, but okay, real quick, we're going to close real quick here. So, listen, real quick. Also, a thing about the second coming. I've been hearing all this stuff about the rapture, and, you know, they got it all over TikTok and all this other stuff, and it didn't happen, so now they moved the date, you know. Oh, my God. Oh, my Lord. It's hilarious to me what these people come up with, you know. It's just, how many times has it been claimed, the rapture, the end of the world, and all this other stuff, man. It's, you know, you're never going to know. Nobody's going to know when the end is coming. Nobody's going to know. It's not meant for us to know, okay? You see signs. The Lord says you'll have signs. You'll see signs. The signs are all over. We see them. What he states prophetically, you know. And it's already close. It's close, but we don't know. It could be tomorrow. It could be a week. It could be a year, 2 years, 5 years. We don't know. But in the Lord, there's no time like that. It's to Him. It's boom. You know. So anyway, the second coming of Jesus the Christ, not Jesus Christ, Jesus the Christ, Jesus the Messiah, the Savior. Okay, Jesus, the second coming. Everybody says it's close. He's going to come on a cloud. He's going to bring all these angels with him. And, who's to say you're not one of those angels? And this 144,000. They got so many theories. You know what? I'm one of them right now. How about 144,000 within the collective? You know the collective? That's these people, the workers of light right now. But you have to make that decision to be one. And you have to be total, man. You understand? And there's some at greater levels than others. And I won't claim my level. I just know I'm up there. I'm up there, man. I've done a lot of work. I took a lot of time. I beat myself. I beat it out of me. I beat the hell out of me. You understand? In order to have this, because I decided and I surrendered it all. And that's all there is to it. You understand? And I felt it right away, and I worked hard at it for the last 5 months, man. 4 months, 4 or 5 months. I've elevated. You understand? So I know, and he brought this about. The Lord brought this about. The Spirit brought this about. The Almighty brought this about. I didn't just come up with an idea. You know, I could have enjoyed riding my bike and going out, running with the crowd. You know what I mean? Out there partying for whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even women. I've been turning women down. I mean, it's crazy. It's, for me, you know what I mean? It's just crazy because I'm going through crap. But I'm not looking for any ease in that respect like that. I mean, I made a commitment. I'm sticking to my integrity. You know, whoever wants to believe that can, and whoever don't, I really don't care. It's irrelevant to me what you think, you know what I mean, or anybody else thinks. I'm not doing it like that, you know, for anybody, except I'm doing it for everybody. Do you understand? Does that make sense? That's what I call reading between the lines. So the second coming of Jesus Christ, check this out. Why can't it be the actual awakening? If Christ is within me, he says, I am within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. You hold the key. He says, I am the door. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Listen to me, people. I am the way, the truth, and the light. The life. Okay? If he's within me, then, and I make my total commitment, and all I can speak is what the Lord is bringing to me, the Almighty is bringing to me, within my spirit. It's not my own ideas. I've got other things I could go do with my own ideas. But since I surrendered myself totally and did the work and got rid of all my curses, my family curses, my ancestral curses, do you understand? By doing the work, I'm the one. I am the one. So why can't I be that emulation of Jesus Christ in my, Jesus the Christ, the salvation in my own life? Do you understand? So that I may bring it out and show others so that they can see the Christ within them. Each one of you has it. Each one of you has, you know, he says in his word, salvation is at hand. Salvation is at hand. You have it. It's within reach. Your salvation is at hand. People don't think, man, what is Wait a minute, because they don't read between the lines. So why can't the second coming of Christ? I think he's already here. You know why? Because he already came. I'm not waiting for him to show up on a horse in the clouds and a million angels or whatever behind him. I have it. That's the protection I'm talking about. Why should I walk in any kind of fear? You know what I mean? I can't doubt it. If you got fear, you got doubt. If you got doubt, you're diminishing your frequency. You're diminishing your belief. You're diminishing your faith. Do you understand? And you got to get mad. You got to get mad at any attacks that come at you from the negative. Get mad to the point where you grit your teeth and say, no, and get your feet. Man, you ain't moving me. You're not moving me. I don't care. Take your shot. You can't touch me because I'm not yours. Do you hear what I'm saying? You have to know and believe that. And until the Lord says different, the Almighty says different, you're going to stay and you're going to do your job and you're going to do your perfect your mission. You're going to profess what you're going to profess and you're going to walk in your mission and you're going to be good at it. And if there's benefits, you're going to get the benefits. You understand? And he's going to take care of you. He's going to take care of you because you deserve it. Because you've gone through hell. You've gone through hell. How much hell do you have to go through life before you say, man, you know what? Lord, I deserve a break, man. You know how many times I've cried? Like a baby, just because it's like, Lord, man, I just want to break. I just want to break. I want some peace. I just want peace. I just want to live and with happiness. I don't have to deal with all this crap and have to wonder, am I going to be happy in the morning? Am I going to be happy next week? You know, because I don't know what's going on over here, or I got to watch over here. I got to keep an eye over here, make sure everything's all right. I got to constantly watch everything because it's been that way, bam, 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 all my life. Or I'm so scared that I got such a good life. I'm living a good life. Like some of you living a good life, and I'm so scared to lose it. I'm watching. So I'm paranoia, you know. I mean, come on, people. That's no way to live, man. There's no way to live. Or totally oblivious. You know, you don't even know if you're walking in the garden or on the grass or on the street. You're so oblivious. Because life is so beautiful, you know. Come on, man. Life isn't beautiful like that. You know, life isn't beautiful like that. Within the spirit, it is. Some of you are walking it pretty heavy and pretty, you know, straight up. It's not like that for everybody, people. Those are the people we need you, man. The collective. You're probably part of it and you don't know it. You're probably part of the 144,000 and 144,000 and you don't even know it. You know? Because you need to do more work. You understand? You need to do more work. You're not where actually you're supposed to be. It just feels that way. Everything feels so good, so I'll stay right there. I did elevate some, so I'll stay at this level. This is good. You know? I'm doing all right. You know what I mean? So, anyway, who's to say that rapture didn't already happen? You've already been taken. I know I have. For me, that's how I look at it. You know, I've already been taken. You know, you're supposed to take it, you know. I took a shower this morning. My clothes were laying on the bed. I wasn't in them. You know what I mean? That's what I thought about it. So I guess I'm sucked out of them. You know, because here I am. The way I came into this world, I'm standing here for you, Lord. And I said that in the shower. It felt so good. You know, with the water raining over me, man. You know, washing me clean. You hear what I'm saying? That's what I felt. And before I stepped into the shower, I looked at my clothes and they're laying there. That's what hit me. This is the rapture. Told me, you know, this is the rapture. You're already there. I've already got you. You know what I'm saying? That was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. I felt, oh my Lord, man, this is awesome. You know, the water washing over me. It's like I'm standing here the way I came in, Lord. The way you brought me into this world, I'm standing here. I hope some of you get this. I hope it's touching you, because, man, I don't know. There's not even any words for it, except the words I've given you. I'll try to get better, people. I'm trying to get this. I don't know. I'm doing what I can, and remember, keep this video and go back and remember some of this stuff. And there'll be more. I'm going to do more of this reading the Bible. I know some of you are very interested right now. I can feel you, and you want to hear more. But it will go on for hours, man. And I've already extended more than I wanted to. But there's going to be more about, and I want to bring the word, and I'm going to show you what this is. How about this? What do you think of this? And I'm not saying this is what you have to believe. I'm saying I'm going to put it out there for you. What do you think of that? What do you think of this? Does that make sense to you? Okay, and you make up your own mind, because you are filled with the Spirit too. Okay, and you make up your own mind. So you can either reject it or go, wait a minute, I want to think about that. That might make some sense. That makes some sense. You see what I mean? So the second coming of Christ, it's within you, baby. You can be that. And who cares what the people think about it? You think you're this, you think you're that. I don't care what you think. I think. What do you think I think? Give me a break. You can't even think for yourself, man. Look at you. You know what I mean? You're over here worried about my business. You can't control your business. You see what I'm saying? I love you. Get strong, people. From Dragon.